everybody and welcome to another Transformers review. Today I'm taking a look at something a little bit different. Today I'm taking a look at a masterpiece style figure. Basically it's the KO of the MP-10, but it's in Ultra Magnus colours. This is a standalone figure. There isn't actually an original of this, so all of this artwork on the front here they've done themselves, the KO company. This is the MP-10u, the Earth Commander Ultra Magnus. The box has got the very similar embossed kind of high gloss imagery that the official Masterpiece figures have. Again, on the side here we've got this nice silver Masterpiece info, and on the back there pretty much exactly what we got with the MP-10. We've got the diagrams, schematics, and obviously these are all pictures that have been taken by the KO company and placed on the box. I'm actually genuinely impressed. They've done a pretty good job. He comes in the standard blister shell that we've come to know from the Masterpiece figures. His accessories consist of his rifle, which appears to have a white painted handle as opposed to using white plastic. They've used a black plastic there, and same here with the silver. But it still works, it still folds up and tucks into the back. It's a nice rifle, feels very, very firm, feels very much like the original. He comes with his axe. This time it's blue, and it actually feels a lot more solid than the Hasbro or Takara release. There's no real flex in this plastic at all. She has a little bit of warping and kind of, don't know what that is in there. Don't know if that's the plastic kind of gone astray or that battle damage. I'm not sure, but this is quite a tough plastic, and I'm imagining that it's going to be quite difficult to get over his hands because the other one was very rubberish and a lot of give in it. We also get a matrix of leadership. This one's a little bit dull. It's not really that vibrant. The paint apps have seen slightly better days, but it's a good weight to it. So all in all, I think again quite a bit of value and bang on the buck. And here is Magnus himself. Now, my first impressions, it's not perfect. It's very, very good. And it's going to be a very welcome part in a lot of people's collections. But this is the version 2 where they fixed a lot of the faults with the knockoff MP-10. And this one does still have some minor issues. And I've spoken to some of my friends that have also got this mould, and theirs don't have the issues. So I think it's just the same as we got with the Hasbro mould. Some did have some slight QC issues, and it's basically the luck of the draw. Mine are very minimal, but if you do get a chance to open up the MP-10u and check it out before you purchase it, I would highly recommend it. Let's just quickly cover those faults. As you can see by taking a look at the front of Magnus there is a small gap along the front of his chest. I cannot get that to close. I may just go and have a look at the modifications people did with the MP-10, because I know some of the Hasbro releases had exactly the same issues. If we take a look at the hand as well, just come round to the underside of the hand. I think it's this one. One of these hands is slightly, yeah, it's this one here. Just needs the screw to be loosened maybe, and just this pegged incorrectly. It's just a little bit of a gap in there. Doesn't affect the transformation at all. I'm not a big fan of the washer on here either. That's very, very visible, isn't it? But man, look at that face. The plastic quality is very, very good. I think he does feel slightly lighter than the MP-10. I'll get the scales out shortly and we'll weigh them both. The plastic appears to be cast in white, with obviously the sections painted silver, but the head itself is also painted a very high gloss white. The antennae do still move. I love that mask and those eyes. They look absolutely stunning, don't they? Really, really piercing. The original matrix of leadership does still fit with this. I've actually got that in there at the moment. Just open those up. This section opens up really, really nicely. And then I just need to get my fingers in there and hook this section up. There we go. There's the original matrix. Fits in there really, really nicely. Again, the paint application on this middle section here could have been done slightly better. It just kind of a washed white on there. I think some of these parts could have done with being cast in white as opposed to painted. Just close that chest up and hook that over and hook that over like so. You see what I mean? It doesn't quite sit in there properly, does it? I'm going to try and get his hand energon axe on. Let's have a look. How should we? It should just. God, these points are really, really sharp. Really sharp. Oh, yeah, that's really probably too tight. That's probably as far as that's going to go on. I may need to get a hairdryer on the plastic and kind of supple it up a bit. I'm not going to be able to force that in. But, I mean, we can rotate the wrist and he can have his energon axe. I mean, you could probably pass with that, couldn't you? Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? It doesn't quite fit. I think if I forced it, I probably would damage the hands. The rifle, on the other hand, it fits in there pretty well. Again, it's not super tight, but it's substantial enough. It's not going to go anywhere. Covering the actual joints on Magnus, they all appear to be fairly tight. Head goes up, down nicely, left and right. Good rotation there. Shoulders go all the way around. The arm joint on the bicep is a little bit loose. Again, I could probably tighten that by adjusting the screws here, which is good. Nice tight upper bicep swivel. The wrists are nice and tight. The waist joint is really good and tight. The legs, super tight legs. Lovely ratchets on those. Nice swivel at the knee there. Nice ratcheting knees. Feet appear to be die cast, or at least a very thick plastic. I believe they're die cast. Got like a die cast shell on those. Nice tilt on the ankle. Good forward motion and good back motion. He can strike a very good pose. You do still have a really nice range of motion on the shoulder there once you pop this socket out. But if you look on mine, I did have a small build up of paint actually in there, so it was a job to pop that shoulder joint out initially, but once it's out it does slide in nicely. It's the little things that make the differences, like having hinged wipers that can actually move. Don't these two look absolutely amazing together? They really do. I haven't had the trouble with the fingers on this Magnus. The fingers stay on, they don't tend to drop off and fall on the floor like the MP-10 does. It really does annoy me how his finger just falls off. Here we have our good trusty Weight Watchers scales as promised. Let's just bring those in. Optimus Prime is weighing in at 418 and Magnus weighs in at 418. I stand corrected, he did feel a little bit lighter, but apparently they are exactly the same weight. One thing I would just like to cover, the actual face mask section on both of these figures. As you can see, the original MP-10, his battle mask plate is actually a separate piece of plastic. And if we look over the top of Magnus there, this is actually all one fused piece, and the paint is a little tiny bit sloppy just on the inside there. I didn't actually realise this was the same piece, but it is actually fused onto those eyes. Here he is with Apollyon. Oh, still love this figure. And here he is with his MP-10u counterpart. Now the important thing is, does he still transform? With these new sections brought in, with the new hands, with the chest gap, with that small section on the hand which doesn't quite connect, does he still convert into his lorry mode? Let's find out. yes, he does look absolutely stunning. That's the Ultra Magnus I knew when I was a kid. Had the white cab, the brum brum, and the white Optimus Prime. You know how it was. But yes, the gaps are quite minimalistic. There's no bigger gaps here than what we got with the official product. And there is a lot of weight when he's in this mode. Everything's compacted. Everything holds together really well. And I love they've got the rubber tyres. Obviously, we haven't got any Takara or Hasbro stamps on this guy. But other than that, he is pretty much spot on. Here he is with the MP-10u cab. I might see if I can get some sort of red stickers just to go along the side here. Because I really would like this to be all redded up. Because I actually preferred the red version that was in the cartoon. They're about the same size. Obviously this is a lot lighter because it is just a standalone cab. What I would have really liked is an adapter so we can get a circular trailer hitch for this Magnus. So we can bring in the armour and we just plug that on the back there. Just like that. I just think that would look really, really good. Obviously it's just on there via friction. Nothing holding that in place, but I would have liked an adapter. I'm sure somebody's probably going to make one, or maybe there will be one available, because it really does work well with this Prime, and it just adds to that playability value. There we have it, guys. That was the MP-10u. I hope you found the review useful. If you found this review informative, then give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. The toy isn't for everybody. I believe it's more for the collectors and somebody that want that kind of Dreamwave or G1 style Ultra Magnus MP-10 style figure in their masterpiece collection. I have no regrets with purchasing this figure. I absolutely love it. Small faults aside, it's a really, really good toy. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, from myself and MP-10u Ultra Magnus, goodbye.